So, what do you do when every doctor, every treatment, and every last bit of hope has failed you? That's exactly what we're diving into today in this explainer on Amy B. Scher's incredible book, How to Heal Yourself When No One Else Can. It's a journey that starts in a really, really dark place, but it leads to a totally new way of understanding what healing even means.
To really get what this journey is all about, we have to start right here with this incredibly raw quote from Amy herself. This really sets the stage. I mean, we're not just talking about being sick, we're talking about a level of suffering so deep that life itself becomes terrifying. So you have to wonder, how does someone even get to that point? Well, her story kicks off with a problem that just felt completely unsolvable, a situation that honestly, a lot of people dealing with chronic illness know all too well. And the sheer scale of what was happening to her body was just staggering. This wasn't some minor issue. We're talking about constant, 24/7, full-body pain. She lost the ability to use her arms and legs. She couldn't even wash her own hair. Her brain was so affected she couldn't form words. Her entire life was completely consumed by this illness, managed by, get this, 44 pills every single day. And this was after years of doctors not even knowing what was wrong with her. So in this desperate search for a cure, she actually travels all the way to India for this radical embryonic stem cell treatments. And you know what? It worked. For a while, she was walking again. It really seemed like a miracle. But then, the relief started to fade. The old symptoms came back and new ones even popped up. And it was the failure of this last resort treatment that led her to ask the most important question of her life. What if the real cause of all this wasn't just physical?
And that question, well, it sparked a massive shift in perspective. This is the moment in the story where everything changes. It moves away from suffering and helplessness and toward empowerment and discovering this incredible power that lies within all of us.
It all came back to these words from her doctor in India, Dr. Geeta Shroff. She apparently told her this almost every day. Now, at the time, Amy really struggled with it, but it planted a seed, the idea that maybe, just maybe, the ultimate key to her healing wasn't in some syringe or a pill, but it was inside her the whole time.
And this led to a total light bulb moment. The logic is so simple, but so profound. If she had done everything humanly possible to fix her physical body, and it still wasn't working, then the problem must have deeper roots. She realized the true cause might actually be tied to our emotions, our beliefs, and our energy.
So to explain this, Amy uses this absolutely brilliant metaphor that really gets to the heart of her whole approach to self-healing. It's all about where you decide to focus your attention.
Okay, so imagine you are a tree. Your symptoms, the pain, the fatigue, the diagnoses, those are like brittle, unhealthy leaves. Now you can spray them and medicate them all you want, but if the soil they're growing from is toxic, the leaves are never going to truly get better, right? The soil, that's your foundation. It's who you are at your core, all your past experiences, your beliefs, your unresolved emotions. Real lasting healing only happens when you start cleaning up the soil.
So what's the biggest thing that contaminates our soil? According to Scher, it's our relationship with stress. And we're not just talking about the stress of a busy day at work. We're talking about the deep internal stress that comes from how we react to life itself. You see, our bodies have this built-in alarm system for danger. It's the fight, flight, or freeze response. It's designed to save us from, a saber-toothed tiger by pumping us full of adrenaline and cortisol. The problem is, our bodies can't tell the difference between a real physical threat and an unresolved emotional one. So when old emotional patterns keep this system constantly switched on, it just drains all the energy away from our immune system, making it basically impossible for the body to repair and heal itself.
And this is where the energetic piece comes in. In energy medicine, the body's stress response is governed by this pathway called the triple warmer meridian. A great way to think of it is like your internal Papa Bear. It's always on high alert, trying to protect you. Calming this meridian down is the key to telling your body, hey, it's safe. You can switch off the alarm and finally enter healing mode.
Okay, so that's the what and the why. Now let's get to the how. Amy Shore lays out this really clear, accessible framework, a three-part process for cleaning up your soil and taking your power back.
First up, you have to surrender. You've got to stop fighting the reality of where you are right now. This isn't about giving up. It's about stopping the struggle so you can use that energy for something else. Second, you identify the blockages, those subconscious beliefs or patterns that are holding you back. And third, you actively work to change your relationship with stress by clearing out those blockages.
And all of this leads us to the ultimate goal of this entire journey, which, believe me, is actually much bigger and way more profound than just overcoming a physical illness.
And this right here is maybe the most important takeaway of all. The finish line isn't a perfect body or a life with zero problems. The real goal is to release everything that's not you, the fears, the self-criticism, the unhealthy patterns, so you can finally align with your authentic self. Because that alignment is the true source of well-being.
And let's be honest, we all do this in ways big and small. Does any of this sound familiar? Staying in a relationship you know isn't right, constantly beating yourself up, saying yes when you desperately mean no, ignoring that little gut feeling. These are the ways we contaminate our own soil and block our own light. Just recognizing them is the huge first step to changing them.
Amy uses this incredible quote from the great Joseph Campbell to reframe this whole healing process. It's not a chore. It's not a punishment. It's your adventure, and it's the most important journey you could ever take.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question. This whole work is about letting go of the heavy baggage, the old stories, the pain, the blame. And that question isn't just for people with a diagnosis, it's for all of us. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Are you ready to say yes to your adventure?